Today we are going to make a sphere. And what is a sphere? It is a shape, a circle, that looks three-dimensional by using shading and shadows. So to start our sphere, what we want to do is we want to draw a circle. And don't have to use a circle template, just kind of draw it just like this. I'm using an ebony pencil, and this is a great drawing tool. So we've got a circle here for our sphere. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to have our light coming from this side right here. So to shade this, we're going to have a lot of light here and then a lot of dark here. So let's go ahead and start shading our dark areas. You can start by putting your pencil on the side here and start putting down some pencil lead, and we're going to make it nice and dark here. Notice how I'm kind of shading in this direction, just like this, because our light's coming from right over here. Okay, so we're going to make it nice and dark on these edges here. I'm going to start blending this slowly, getting some lead down here, okay, and working our way around and slowly working ourselves up to no pressure, no material, no lead, pencil lead over there, okay? Okay, let's make this a little darker here. Build up our value here. We want to have a gradual gradation from very dark over here to very light to no pencil lead there whatsoever. Now, if you do this with charcoal, you know, you might blend it a little bit better. It might be a little bit easier, but we're using an ebony pencil, so it's a little bit different. But same concept. The material's a little different. It might be a little faster with charcoal because you can get a lot of material down on the paper pretty quickly, okay? Don't be afraid to use like a tissue to blend it if you want to do that, or if you have a blending stump, you could do that. You could use a blending stump, and you can kind of smooth this out a little bit. Also, don't be afraid to use an eraser, and I have one around here somewhere. Here we are. And you can use the eraser to help clean things up. Clean up the edges for sure. Okay, you're starting to see what we've got there. Notice I'm kind of erasing the lines I made for the circle. I'm trying to kind of get rid of those because I really don't want a line there. I want the line to be the difference between the value and the whiteness of the paper, and that creates that contrast, creates like that line, which is not really a line, but now I'm going to continue working on this here, and I want to really get it dark over here, and I want to spend some time and clean it up and get it nice and dark and gradually work my way this way. And don't be afraid to put some sharp edges here on this. And again, you can blend it. If you mess up a little bit, you can erase it. It's not that big of a deal. I don't want you to stress on this. Art's supposed to be fun. So make sure that it's fun for you. And if it's not fun for you, then I wouldn't do it. I guess unless you have to, you have an art class. And my students have to do it. Okay, again, I'm continuing to work this value up slowly, getting really dark and working it up slowly. Okay, I'm doing this rather fast. If I were not doing it on video, I would probably spend a little bit more time being a little more careful. And you want good quality craftsmanship. Remember, in my class, craftsmanship is important. It's important to me to develop skills that you can do good craftsmanship, and I will grade all my students on that. It's really important to me. Okay, so I'm gonna keep blending this, and I'm gonna keep working this. And again, I can make it more round by just like cleaning up some of the edges with the eraser, getting rid of the line. I almost don't want a line right up here where the light's hitting. I could probably put a little line here and maybe put some value in there. You know, maybe there's a little darkness on that side, you know, and I can put some value up here and kind of clean that up. Okay, maybe I want to make it a little bit higher. I could do that. Okay, so I'm not going to spend the time to do this like I would if I were turning this in, but you kind of get the idea. Now, because I have this light source right here, I want the shadow to be down here, over here. So it's going to be, you know, maybe in the shape, or rounded shape. Okay, and it's going to be right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a shadow. Probably want to darken this up some. And again, if you want to use a blending stump or a tissue to kind of smooth it up, you can do that. You can also use your eraser to kind of clean up the edges if you want to shape your shadow a little bit. You know, maybe you want to shape it up some. You can do that. Okay, maybe you want it to be a little bit fuzzy on the edges. You know, you might want that. Okay. Now, remember that if my light source were up here, my shadow might appear down here at the bottom a little bit more. Okay. It depends where your light source is, where your shadow is. But that should create the illusion of depth. Now, we call this a form because it's like three-dimensional. Before, when it was round, it was just a circle. We call that a shape. So we're really taking a shape and making it a form. Okay, and I would spend more time on this. I'd probably try to get it darker. I'd clean up these edges some. Might use the eraser, clean up over here, darken up back over here, and I would spend more time on it. I'm not going to do that for you. When it's done, it should look something like this here. This is one I did, and again, this one here probably could use some more work also. But I've done like 100 of these, and after you do about 100 of them, you kind of get kind of bored of it. So I'm not going to go through and do it all, but you kind of get the gist of what it should look like. So that is our sphere. That is the assignment for my students today. And anyone else that wants to try to make a sphere, feel free. And I will talk to you later.